Hello Swatantra TV viewers. I am Mahima, welcoming you to our English bulletin with latest news, updates and analysis. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Tuesday made a wholehearted endorsement of India's ties with Russia, describing the old ally as India's all-weather friend and lauding President Vladimir Putin for strengthening the bilateral relations over the past 2 decades of his leadership. Addressing the Indian diaspora, he said the India-Russia relationship is built on the strong pillar of mutual trust and respect, asserting that their ties were tested time and again only to emerge stronger every time. Modi's high praise of Russia as an ally and Putin's leadership came amid ongoing efforts by the Western world to isolate the Russian leader over the war in Ukraine. Prime Minister Modi also made a veiled criticism of the influence-oriented global order which endured for decades. He said India is being seen as a strong pillar in the emerging multipolar world order. When it speaks of peace, dialogue and diplomacy, then the whole world listens. Modi has often stressed the need for dialogue and diplomacy to end the war between Russia and Ukraine. Commenting on India's ties with Russia, he said he has been for decades an admirer of the unique partnership between the two countries. He said he had a special appreciation for his friend Putin for steering the India-Russia friendship to greater heights over the last 2 decades.
आज 140 करोड़ भारतीय हर क्षेत्र में सबसे आगे निकलने की तैयारी में जुटे रहते हैं। आपने भी देखा है, हम अपनी अर्थव्यवस्था को सिर्फ कोविड संकट से बाहर निकाल करके ही नहीं लाए, बल्कि भारत ने अपनी अर्थव्यवस्था को दुनिया की सबसे मजबूत इकोनॉमी में से एक बना दिया। हम अपने इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर की कमियां दूर तो कर ही रहे हैं, बल्कि हम ग्लोबल स्टैंडर्ड के माइलस्टोन क्रिएट कर रहे हैं।
Congress leader Rahul Gandhi in Raebareli on Tuesday met the family members of Kirti Chakra recipient Captain Anshuman Singh, whose mother later spoke out against the Agniveer scheme. Gandhi, the leader of opposition in the Lok Sabha, also visited AIIMS Raebareli and met party workers and local residents of his constituency during his short visit before leaving for Lucknow. The late captain's mother Manju Singh told reporters after Gandhi met her at a guest house here that she was appealed to the government not to divide army into 2 categories. Speaking further about the army scheme launched in 2022 for short-term recruitment of Jawans, Manuja Singh said the 4-year job role is not appropriate as Agniveers who are let go would struggle to find another suitable career. Her son was posthumously conferred the Kirti Chakra, India's second highest peacetime gallantry award, by President Draupadi Murmu on 5th July during an investiture ceremony. Capt Singh died while rescuing people from a major fire in July last year. Gandhi had called the martyr's family, which resides in Lucknow, to meet them at the guest house. After meeting the Congress leader, the late officer's mother told reporters that Gandhi assured all possible support to their family. Earlier on the way to Raebareli after landing in Lucknow, Gandhi prayed at a Hanuman temple in Churwa. After landing at the Chaudhry Charan Singh Airport in Lucknow, Gandhi left by road for Raebareli, which is about 80 kilometers from the state capital. Gandhi reached the Buemo guest house, where he met party workers, delegations including that of Indian Industries Association and locals, a local party leader said. After several of its leaders defected to the Congress, BRS Working President K.T. Rama Rao on Tuesday slammed leader of opposition in Lok Sabha Rahul Gandhi saying he does Oscar-level acting on protecting the constitution. KTR also said the Bharat Rashtra Samiti is gearing up for a legal battle against its defecting members and announced plans to file a petition in the Supreme Court. The move comes in response to a recent wave of defections that saw 7 MLAs, 6 MLCs and 1 Rajya Sabha MP switch allegiance to the Congress party. He outlined the party's intention to approach the Election Commission, President, Rajya Sabha chairperson and Lok Sabha speaker. On one side, Rahul Gandhi is flaunting a copy of the constitution, while on the other his party is disgracing it. He does Oscar-level acting on protecting the constitution. You cannot run with the hare and hunt with the hounds, KTR remarked. He also urged all victims of the BJP and the Congress to come together to fight against defection. KTR revealed that a petition against the defected BRS members is already pending in the Telangana High Court. He noted that according to a 2020 Supreme Court order, the Assembly Speaker has 3 months to decide on the status of the defected party members. If the Speaker does not do justice, the Bharat Rashtra Samiti will knock on the door of the Supreme Court. He added, asked about the BRS' own history of welcoming defectors during its 2014 to 2023 regime, KTR drew a distinction. What the Bharat Rashtra Samiti did was a merger, which is provided for under the constitution, he said.
మీరు చేయలేదా అని అడిగారు కృష్ణారావు గారు. నేనేం చెప్పాను ఆయనకి, విలీనానికి పార్టీ ఫిరాయింపుకి తేడా మనం తెలుసుకోవాలి. విలీనం అంటే 3/2 మంది కనుక ఒప్పుకుంటే అది విలీనం, అది చట్టబద్ధం, దానిలో ఎవరేం చేయలేరు. కానీ నేను అనేది ఏంటంటే ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ జరుగుతున్నది ఏంటి, 38 మంది ఎమ్మెల్యేలు 7 ఎమ్మెల్యేలు ఎవరి పార్టీకి వారు ఎప్పటికప్పుడు మారారు. అందులో ఒక ఆయన మా పార్టీ టికెట్ మీద ఎమ్మెల్యేగా గెలిచి ఇవాళ ఎంపీగా పోటీ చేశారు కాంగ్రెస్ టికెట్ నుంచి. కాబట్టి ఇంతకంటే ఓపెన్ అండ్ షట్ కేసు ఏమి ఉండదు. తెలంగాణ ముఖ్యమంత్రి గారి మనసులో ఏమున్నా, రాహుల్ గాంధీ గారు ఎన్ని ఆశీర్వాదాలు ఇచ్చినా వాస్తవం ఏంటంటే ఇది చట్టసమ్మతం కాదు, చట్టబద్ధం కాదు, రాజ్యాంగబద్ధం అంతకంటే కాదు. కాబట్టి మేము ఢిల్లీలోనే కొట్లాడతాం. ఏ రాహుల్ గాంధీ గారు అయితే రాజ్యాంగాన్ని పెట్టుకుని పోజులు కొడతారో ఆయన కూడా రాజ్యాంగం కాపీ పంపిస్తాం. పంపించి ఆయన కూడా చెప్తాం, చదువుకోండి బాబు అప్పుడప్పుడు. నైతికత అనైతికత అన్న దానికంటే రాజ్యాంగబద్ధమా చట్టబద్ధమా కాదా, రాజ్యాంగబద్ధమైనది ఏదైతే ఉన్నదో 2/3 అనేది వాళ్ళ రాజ్యాంగంలో ఉంది. నైతికత కూడా అవసరం. కానీ నైతికత ఒక్క మాకే కాదు కదా, అందరికీ ఉండాలి కదా. రేవంత్ రెడ్డి గారు రాళ్లతో కొట్టి చంపమన్నారు కదా ఎవరైనా పార్టీ ఎమ్మెల్యేలు మారితే, మరి వాళ్ళ గురించి మేము అదే అడుగుతాం, ఏ రాళ్లతో కొట్టి చెప్పాలని. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
4 Telugu people are charged with allegedly running a forced labor scheme out of Collin County in Texas in U.S. Princeton police. The arrests came after authorities found more than a dozen young women living in the same home forced to sleep on the floor. 4 persons were arrested on charges of running forced labor. They are 24-year-old Chandan Desai Reddy, 31-year-old Dwarka Gunda, 31-year-old Santosh Katkuri, and 37-year-old Anil Mail. All are charged with trafficking of persons. More arrests are likely. Police say there was basically no furniture inside the home at the center of human trafficking, just a bunch of computer electronics and blankets. The Princeton Police Department released details of an investigation that led to 4 people being arrested in March after 15 women were found inside the home as alleged victims of human labor trafficking. According to an affidavit, a pest control company was called to a home on Ginsburg Lane for possible bed bugs. Once inside, the inspector noticed that each room had 3 to 5 young females sleeping on the floors. There were also large amounts of suitcases. The company contacted police. Princeton Police SGT Carolyn Crawford would not reveal what type of labor operation was happening, but she says dozens of more people are involved. The police found at least 100 people in house. A 25-year-old Indian student studying at Trine University died after he drowned at a waterfall at Albany in New York State. India's consulate here said the latest incident to hit the community grappling with a string of such tragedies. Sai Surya Avinash Gadde died on 7th July at Barberville Falls, Albany, about 240 kilometers north of here. Gadde's LinkedIn profile showed he enrolled at Trine University in the US state of Indiana in the 2023-24 session. Reports said Gadde, originally from Telangana in India, had been spending the long weekend of 4th July in the waterfall area. Multiple crews responded to the scene after 2 men swimming got into trouble. The man who was rescued was saved by a good Samaritan, News10.com quoted the Rensselaer County Sheriff's Office as saying. Gadde's death marks the long list of increasing instances of Indians, especially students, dying an untimely death in the US. Last month, in a tragic incident, 32-year-old Dasri Gopikrishna, who came to the US less than a year ago, was fatally shot during a robbery at a convenience store in Pleasant Grove, Dallas, in the US state of Texas on 21 June. Chief Minister N. Chandrababu Naidu on Tuesday said that the YSR Congress government had destroyed the power sector in Andhra Pradesh in the last 5 years. He released a white paper on the power sector. He claimed that the reforms he had brought in the power sector benefited the nation. The country was now enjoying the fruits of those reforms. The TDP government between 2014 and 2019 did not increase the power tariff. The government also increased solar and wind energy during those 5 years. Andhra Pradesh had become power surplus by 2018, Naidu said. The state generated 14,929 megawatts electricity by 2018 to 19, he said. But the previous government had put 32,166 crore rupees burden on the people by increasing power tariff, he said. The previous government also borrowed 49,596 crore rupees on the power sector, Naidu said. He said that the previous government had increased the power tariff on 1.53 crore people in the state. The domestic sector was burdened with the power tariff, he alleged. The government also imposed a power tariff on the poor families that consumed 50 units of power, he said. The debt of the energy companies have increased by 79% in the last 5 years, Naidu said. The government had withdrawn 29 agreements in the wind energy, causing a heavy burden on the state economy, he said.
కరెంట్ లేనిదే ఈరోజు ఎవ్వరి జీవితాలు కూడా ప్రతి ఒక్కరి జీవితాలు ప్రతి ఒక్క రంగం పవర్తో ముడిపడింది, విద్యుత్ శక్తితో ముడిపడింది. దీన్ని ఎంత సమర్థవంతంగా మనం అమలు చేసుకోగలిగితే అంత మెరుగైన జీవన ప్రమాణాలు, అదే మరిగా మనకు అన్ని విధాల లాభం జరిగే పరిస్థితి వస్తుంది. 2014 నుంచి 2019 మళ్ళీ నేను వచ్చే కొందికి నాకు 22.5 మిలియన్ యూనిట్లు కరెంటు కొరత, వారసత్వం. అప్పుడే 2.0. ఈసారి సోలార్, విండ్, ఇన్నోవేటివ్ పవర్ కోసం ముందుకు పోయాం. 19-24 ఫినామినల్ ఇంక్రీజ్ ఇన్ పవర్ టారిఫ్. ఏదైతే 19-24లో అప్పులు కూడా విపరీతంగా పెరిగిపోయినాయి. 1,29,000 కోట్ల రూపాయల అప్పు ఉన్నాయి. ఇప్పుడు ఒక మాటలో చెప్పాలంటే నా పవర్ పోయింది, కానీ పవర్ సెక్టర్ రిఫార్మ్స్ వల్ల దేశం బాగుపడింది. గవర్నమెంట్ పోగొట్టుకున్నాం, కానీ ఒక తృప్తి, నేను చేసిన పవర్ సెక్టర్ రిఫార్మ్స్ శాశ్వతం, దేశం బాగుపడింది, మన రాష్ట్రం కూడా బాగుపడే పరిస్థితికి వచ్చింది.
A court Delhi on Tuesday took cognizance of the 7th supplementary charge sheet filed by the Enforcement Directorate in the money laundering case linked to the alleged excise policy scam. The Federal Probe Agency has named Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal and Aam Aadmi Party in the supplementary charge sheet. Special Judge Kaveri Baveja took cognizance of the charge sheet and issued summons to Kejriwal for 12th July. The Anti-Money Laundering Agency had arrested 55-year-old Kejriwal, also the national convener of the Aam Aadmi Party, from his official residence here on 21st March. Meanwhile, the BJP-led centre is hatching a big conspiracy against AAP, its National Secretary Pankaj Gupta alleged on Tuesday over a supplementary Enforcement Directorate charge sheet naming the party in the alleged excise policy scam. Gupta also accused the BJP of wanting to finish off AAP, which governs Punjab and Delhi, at any cost. The Modi government has only one mission, and that is to keep the youth jobless, Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge alleged on Tuesday in a scathing attack against the centre on the issue of unemployment. The Modi government may be refuting independent economic reports like the one by Citigroup on unemployment, but how will it deny government data? Kharge asked in a lengthy post on X citing various reports. The truth is that Modi government is solely responsible for shattering the dreams of crores of youth in the last 10 years, he alleged. Kharge said the latest government data punctures the government's claims. According to National Sample Survey Office Annual Survey of Unincorporated Sector Enterprises, in the manufacturing sector, 54 lakh jobs were lost in unincorporated units in the 7 years between 2015 and 2023, he said. In 2010 to 11, 10.8 crore people were employed in unincorporated, non-agricultural enterprises across India, which has become 10.96 crore in 2022 to 23, that is, a marginal increase of only 16 lakh in 12 years, he said. Khadge cited the latest periodic labor force survey to state that the urban unemployment rate is at 6.7% in Q4 fiscal year 24. A report by IIM Lucknow, after analyzing government data, shows that unemployment growth, high unemployment among the educated, low participation of women in the workforce are prevalent in the country, Khadge said. Lauding India pacer Mohammad Siraj for bringing laurels to the country and the state, Telangana Chief Minister A. Revant Reddy on Tuesday announced a residential plot and a government job to the cricketer as a reward. Siraj, who returned to his hometown Hyderabad last week after India's T20 World Cup victory, paid a courtesy call to the Chief Minister here. The Chief Minister felicitated Siraj and praised him for his excellent performance in international cricket, an official release said. He directed the officials to identify a suitable residential plot in Hyderabad or surrounding areas and provide a government job to Siraj, the release added. Gold prices fell by 100 rupees to 73,310 rupees per 10 grams in the national capital on Tuesday amid weak global cues. The precious metal had settled at 73,410 rupees per 10 grams on Monday. However, silver prices jumped by 180 rupees to 94,450 rupees per kg from 94,270 rupees per kg in the previous session. Silver prices are expected to outperform the yellow metal in the near future. On the overseas front, spot gold at COMEX traded at US $2,362 per ounce, down US $11 per ounce against the previous close. Traders will also keep an eye on more cues on US interest rates from testimony by Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell and key inflation data due through the week. However, silver was quoted higher at US $30.03 per ounce. In the previous session, it had ended at US $30.93 per ounce. Gold prices experienced volatility over the last 2 days, with profit booking triggered after China halted gold purchases for another month. Benchmark indices Sensex and Nifty rebounded on Tuesday, hitting their fresh record closing levels on the back of gains in auto and FMCG shares and foreign fund inflows. The 30-share BSE Sensex climbed 391.26 points or 0.49% to settle at a new closing peak of 80,351.64. During the day, it jumped 436.79 points or 0.54% to hit a new lifetime high of 80,397.17. The NSE Nifty went up by 112.65 points or 0.46% to 24,433.20, its record closing high. During the day, it surged 123.05 points or 0.50% to hit a new record peak of 24,443.60. Among Sensex shares, Maruti Suzuki India jumped over 6% amid reports that the UP government waived registration taxes on hybrid cars as part of its initiative to promote environmentally friendly vehicles in the state. Mahindra & Mahindra, Titan, Sun Pharma, ITC, Nestle and Tata Motors were the other big gainers. Reliance Industries, Kotak Mahindra Bank, Bajaj Finance and JSW Steel were among the laggard. In the broader market, the BSE Midcap Gauge climbed 0.36% and Small Cap Index went up by 0.22%. Telecommunication, capital goods and tech were the laggards. Foreign institutional investors bought equities worth 60.98 crore rupees on Monday, according to exchange data. Thank you for watching Swatantra TV English Bulletin. For a complete and comprehensive English news bulletin, please do watch Swatantra TV every day. This is Mahima, signing off. Keep watching Swatantra TV.